motorsports news. This week, we've got three very different types of motorsports for you. And we start at Pod Raceway in England in the 1988 World Finals. Over to your commentator, Richard Nichols.
Well, Brian, for a while it looked as if we were going to have no racing here at all. Cloudy skies, stormy weather, but on Sunday afternoon at lunchtime it cleared up and Colin Fallows warmed up the track and opened the proceedings at the 1988 World Finals with his storming run from the EBC Vampire jet car, 200 miles an hour plus from that Rolls-Royce Dart engine. The main action in the early part of the day came from these people, the Swedish Pro Stock cars, Jerry Engstrom on the left there, getting very, very close to his good friend Björn Kronqvist as they go towards the top end, and that was the kind of weather we had. Very, very slippery conditions, very, very difficult for these powerful cars, and look at the way those two so nearly came together in the middle of the track, both of them having problems there, but both of them keeping their cars under control. This was the surprise of the weekend. Jeff Hauser, our own British driver, racing in Pro Stock against some very heavy opposition, and you can see how hard Jeff Hauser was trying, getting that Sierra Cosworth totally out of shape on this practice run, with Per Christian Schinner in the Nova on the other side, zooming through the tracks. The favourite, Sven Andersson, had not much better luck. The man on the right-hand side in the Mr. Skip car was the man everybody expected to take this event, but look at him being left behind here. And also getting so badly out of shape at the top end, very, very slippery, mist in the air. It affected these people as well. This is Monica Öberg running in top fuel with the Bosch dragster and trying to control somewhere in the region of 3,000 horsepower on this very, very slippery piece of tarmac. Alongside her in the left-hand lane is Ludwig Bjornstad, also running top fuel, also trying to control somewhere in the region of 3,000 horsepower. And look at them, out of shape right from the word go. And it's Monica Öberg who hooks up on the right-hand side. She goes through a fine run from her, but Ludwig Bjornstad in big trouble. Liv Bjerstad with the ex-Yamato top fueler now running in that slippery left-hand lane, and she has state-of-the-art performance from this engine and really has a difficult driving job. On the right-hand side is this man, Pelle Lindeler, with expert assistance from Gary Bergin. Even he couldn't beat the cold. The injectors on this engine iced up and he had to sideline it and let Liv Bjerstad run through alone. She just went for a practice launch, 7.39 seconds and 85 miles an hour. Gives you an idea of what happened at the top end. Shut right down. On two wheels, though, the conditions were equally difficult for this man, John Lerrett. Look at the bike on the right-hand side. Trying very, very hard, taking a win here, really running through the top end very, very fast. And then as he gets through the traps, look at it, engine explosion, totally out of control. John Lerrett's on the deck, the bike rolling over him, and the man on the ground underneath it. Looked very, very hairy indeed for John Lerrett. But as it turned out, he was unhurt, shaken, as we say, but not stirred in that accident. We'll look at it again in a moment in slow motion. You can see the progress of how that whole run came apart after the finish line. Just when John Lerrett had the whole thing in the bag, the engine let go underneath him and he came to grief. Here he comes again. Now watch for the engine let go. The back tyre locks up first with those wheelie bars on the back, trying to keep the bike under control. When it gets slippery like this, is almost impossible. The tail wags the dog. And you can see John Lerrett now fighting for control, but he hasn't got a chance of keeping this bike in a straight line. And the only safe thing to do at this stage is to get off it, dump the bike and roll clear. And that's exactly what he does. But even then he can't quite manage it, and the bike rolling over him, those huge wheelie bars coming perilously close to the driver. The engine's still running, you can see the exhaust smoke from it there, but John Lerrett fortunately rolling clear of the bike as it smashes itself to pieces. His second accident in a week, this one. Destroyed a similar one, I believe, just a week ago, racing in Sweden. But fortunately unhurt, as we've said. The track's soon clear and we move on to more drag racing of the World Finals. And here's John Spofford running in funny car with the showdown car. New go faster parts in this engine gave him a career best run at this meeting despite the tricky conditions. John Niedervos, that graduate of the Frank Hawley School of Drag Racing, in the left-hand lane, running in the Wins car, the Corvette on the right-hand side of your screen now, with worse luck this weekend. Problems on the start line for him. There goes John Spofford powering up the quarter mile and taking a fine win on the right-hand side. A career best for him, as I say. And John Niedervos very unlucky on the left-hand side. Rolling through No power in that engine at all, but the car still rolling from its launch at the start line. Making a rare appearance, a demonstration run from this beautiful Toyota super-bodied funny car, Gary Willey at the controls of the James Lister-sponsored machine. But we move back to Top Fuel. Ludwig Bjornstad on the right-hand side in his burnout routine, really trying hard to warm the tyres. Kelly Lindelof, after icing up the engine in his first round, is really going to give it everything. He goes through the burnout as well, and now we come up to the race. Ludwig Bjornstad, again, 3,000 horsepower, somewhere in that region in those engines. And look at the way those tyres light up as they come off the line. It's Ludwig Bjornstad with the better launch, and Ludwig Bjornstad all the way up the quarter mile, smoking a bit at the top end, but a win light on the right-hand side for him as the Pro Stockers come back. And we see some more of these fantastic launches and another class-beating performance for Jeff Hauser in this Sierra Cosworth. Now, Jeff Hauser had a very, very good weekend at the World Finals, and what we saw from him was a tremendous performance against what should have been overwhelming opposition. But just look at this boy go, steaming up the quarter mile, a career best, the fastest car of its kind in Great Britain, 8:09 seconds, 178 miles an hour. The Top Fuel final between this lady, Liv Bjerstad, and the woman on the other side of the strip, Monica Öberg, is the first ever Top Fuel final between two women to be run in this country. Monica Öberg with the Bosch-sponsored dragster on the right-hand side there, running the older car. Liv Bjerstad with this state-of-the-art engine. Absolutely fantastic performance from this car. And you can see the way the power of this thing jumps forward on the start line when she hits the throttle. All of that power going to be unleashed in just a moment in 12 square inches of tarmac. Away they go, and there's absolutely no traction on the start line for either of them. Liv Bjerstad backs off, but look at Monica Öberg. She just stays with it and smokes that car all the way up the quarter mile. 8.95 seconds, 170 miles an hour. Look at the smoke from those tyres. There at half strip, you suddenly see it hook up, and away she goes and takes the win. Liv Bjerstad nowhere in sight. The funny car final suffered from the same problems. Harlan Thompson, the New Jersey boy, on the right-hand side of the strip, burning out there. Gary Page on the left-hand side, running for Great Britain with the ex-Tom Hoover Showtime Trans Am. Coming up to the start line, underneath the bodies of these cars, more of those 3,000 horsepower fuel-burning engines and the same traction problems for both of these drivers. But Bob Jarrett, the crew chief for the Showtime car, has the clutch set perfectly for his lane, and it's Gary Page, the hometown boy, who gets the better launch off the start line, and it's Harlan Thompson who unleashes too much power in those first few seconds of the race and has a terrible problem controlling the Budweiser car. Now there they go off the start line. Gary Page with a fine launch. Smoke from Harlan Thompson as he gets into trouble, and look at the Armco breathe in. Harlan Thompson everywhere but going straight, and Gary Page has gone through at the other end. Look at Harlan Thompson. The wheels are on fire on that funny car, sideways at 137 miles an hour. He does a fine job of controlling that beast in the final run.
Selamat datang.
Selamat datang. Selamat datang.
Selamat datang.
Selamat datang. Selamat datang.
It's our way of saying welcome in Malaysia.
Hey, look, it's one of those new Fiats, a Tipo. I read they spent millions developing it.
Really?
Yeah, made a nice job of it too. Oh, what a car.
Yes, lovely.
Galvanised body, they say. All over.
Is it?
Ah, shame we're going the other way.
No, let's follow that.
Tipo?
Get your skis shined up, rub the stick of diamonds. The taste is gonna move ya. Real gum, real taste. The taste is gonna move you when you pop it in your mouth. Diamonds, it's gonna move ya. It's got a taste that gets right to ya. Diamonds, the taste is gonna move ya.
Double Mint. Real gum, real taste. Double Mint.
It's family entertainment on Sky with Thursday's movie, The Reavers.
Well, we're going to have fun, Lucius. I'm telling you, we're going to have a good time. Maybe the best time of our whole lives.
Steve McQueen stars as two men and a boy steal the only car in town and set off for a wild weekend in Memphis.
11 years old and already cut up in a warehouse world.
The only chance that we got with Boss for stealing his automobile is to bring him back something that he likes even better than an automobile, which is a horse. And I got you.
We're dead.
Finished. Oh, no, we ain't. We ain't even started yet.
The Reavers, Thursday at 8:30. Sunday on Sky, Beyond 2000. A fascinating new program that brings you the latest in science and technology.
The car's own intelligence tells it how to drive.
Reports from around the world on the latest technology that will take us into the next century.
A lady may spend up to $2,000 or $3,000 on a silk kimono. And to see what she's going to look like, they use computer imaging.
Beyond 2000, Sunday at 6:30 on Sky.
Welcome back to Motorsport News and to the Manx International.